Hello everyone, Justin here, and welcome to part 2 of how to draw a rope. So I'm going to draw a knot for this one, just so we can see how a rope changes as it goes around objects and goes in different directions. So this is called a trucker's hitch knot. So we're going to have the rope coming off this way, going across. So this is the thickness of the rope. And then right here it's going to start wrapping around this post. Goes around this post here, and then it goes around. So whenever you're drawing something that goes around behind another object, one easy thing to do is to just go all the way past, even though you're not going to see it. You'll erase that later. All right, so we've got the rope going across and then going back this way, back around the post, and then it goes back around the post and it's going to come out over here. So we'll fix that in a second. So let's go ahead and make the full thickness again. So from here we're gonna go this way. Here's the thickness of the rope right here. So as it goes around, you have to make sure that you go far enough that this thickness shows up right here. So if we do a cross section of the rope, it'll be a circle here. We're gonna go around behind the post, to the front, again around the post here, and here's the cross section again. It's going to go behind and then through this space here. So here's the lower part of the rope and then the upper part coming through. So let's start drawing this part of the rope. This is the easy part, which is fairly straight. We're going to use this line as the outermost part of the rope. So starting from the inside, go out and S-curve in. Same here. Alright, I made this a little bit too thick here. I'm just going to go ahead and erase that and redo this. This part of the rope will go behind this loop. So I'm just going to imagine where it's going to come out here like this. The tension, the load of this particular knot will be coming from here. So this part will be straight. Now as it curves around this post, these lines are going to curve around. So let me show you. So from here we're going to go up, and instead of being so straight, it's going to start curving more like this and form the upper part of this strand. And then from here go this way. As we go further up here, these lines are going to be more and more circular or oval. It'll be more curved. And just go around. So as it comes here, this part will still be just like here initially. So let's draw that. And then as we go this way, this part is still fairly vertical. So it's essentially just like this, except the inner part, which is here, will be a little bit thinner than out here. So here it's a little thicker and then narrows down a bit. Because you're trying to make this curve. And we'll just go all the way around, trying to follow our red guideline here. All right. Now here, this is going away from us. Here's the closest part of this strand, and then it goes away from us. So just like here, as we make our strands, they're going to be more of a C curve as opposed to an S curve. Remember we drew an S curve here? These are going to be more of a C curve. We're just going to go across and curve it. So this part of the strand will be closer, and then it kind of goes away as it wraps around. across and into this hole here, and now we can continue this part of the rope again around this post. The parts that curve around are the trickiest parts to draw, and sometimes can be a little bit difficult to draw it accurately just from imagination. So take a look at your reference closely and try to follow that as well as you can. So what I'm going to do now is I'll just shade it a little bit. I'm going to make the post dark. So as far as shading, I'm going to draw this section darker just because it's kind of under the rope, and then this part up here will be a little bit lighter, but we'll draw the right side, of course, a little darker just to show that it's round. So we'll have a gradient, and this part will be the darkest of all. And I'll shade a little bit of the rope as well. Again, I'll assume that the light is coming from the upper left just to keep things simple, and I will add some shading here on the lower right part of the rope. And as it goes around the post, this whole area will be darker. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a medium tone and add a little bit of darker value for the shadows of the strands right here. And again, this part right here will be darker. So let's just go ahead and shade that whole thing and fine tune it a little bit with some shading, some added darker values to make it more three-dimensional. Okay, so this part, there'll be a cast shadow from this part of the rope onto this one, but then this part will be catching a lot of light, so not gonna shade it too much except for the lowermost part of each strand. And of course this part will be in shadow, so let's draw the cast shadow right now and slowly lighten up on the pressure as I go to the left and start shading these individual strands as before. So this part of the rope will be catching a lot of light, so I'm just gonna lightly shade the right side just to give it some depth. This part is behind, so I'm just gonna make it a little bit darker, but again this part's gonna be catching a lot of light on the left side. So I hope you found this useful. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.